What is the deal, beautiful people? It's your boy Uncle Rizza. Forza 6. Let's talk weather effects. The boy Exhausted posted something in the Ignorant Gamers group where he was listing, or rather he was ranking his racing games according to what he thought was the best rain effects or weather effects, and his number one was pretty much F1 2015. And his comment there was it required skill and focus, and there were no wipers, and that had dynamic weather. So for those of you who don't know, dynamic weather is pretty much very random. The weather progresses throughout the race, doesn't stay the same, or you'll see different change in what do you call it, weather effects. It may be light, it may be heavy, so on and so forth, which is always dope. His second was Project Cars. He said after the 3.0 update, more realistic effect and better water spray. And of course, Project Cars has dynamic weather as well. His third was Driveclub. He said beautiful effects when it starts to rain, and that as well has dynamic weather. So you get the theme here. His number 4 was Forza 6, and he was saying nice effects, but with the grip mods, all you need to do is brake early, remember puddle location, and there's no water spray from the lead cars. So I decided to load up the demo and give it a go, and there's a few variations from what he said. First, there is some water spray. I've tested it rolling up behind the AI. It's not, I get what he's saying, it's not anything dramatic to stop you from really seeing what's going on, and that's something that they could possibly dial up. They should dial up, because I know, that's definitely a racing hazard in real life when these guys are on these tracks. That water spray is crazy. Although I think some games go a little too far with obstructing your view. It's like a goddamn smoke screen. I think he's definitely onto something. We could do it a lot more of it in Forza 6. Now, in terms of the memorizing the mods, you guys know how I feel about mods. I have to wait till the game comes out to really see how that affects what we do and how we do it. So I'm reserving judgment there. But the comment about the memorizing the puddles, he's absolutely right, and that is a very valid point, and it's a very valid strategy in the game. Now the thing about this was you got to come back to day one and how turn 10 outlined what their vision for weather was. These guys didn't want it to just simply rain on the track. They wanted to recreate realistic representations of how these tracks actually are in real life when they're wet, which is definitely a different approach than anything I've seen in the simulator racer. They went out and it's got the whole 3D water engine going on, so the puddles would be less or more depending on how many cars on the track, how many times you drove through that puddle, blah 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 blah. And I think the dopest part of it is for people who are heavily invested in the racing world, or even just Cup Sundays or just casual autocross. You're well familiar with your track and where you go to do your thing on a I would say not a daily basis, but fairly often. Let me put it that way. So when it rains, or just finished raining, or the track is completely wet, it becomes a part of your strategy, and it's in your best interest to know where those puddles are, to know what's going on. And I think it's dope that Turn 10 went the extra mile to really include that dynamic here. And there's still some more behind it, right? Because not everyone's gonna have, I don't even think there's wet tires in the game, or we don't know yet. So there's dudes with tunes with slicks, there's dudes with tunes with street tires. Obviously the street tires are gonna outperform the slicks, but it now becomes another added layer of your car's setup and customization options as to how you perform on the track. And then on top of that, the dopest part to me is it's all about the intensity of the people you're racing with. Sure, we all know the lines to take on these tracks, and we know when you're trying to fight your way around people, you gotta adjust. But what happens when there's puddles all over the goddamn place? Now you're trying to adjust for the puddles and the race lines. Now that's like 3 layers in. I think that's dope, and I can't wait to get a hold to see exactly how it is. Like, I completely screwed that turn up right there. Man, I really want to get on the ring in some rain and see what that's like. But anyway, like the video if you like it, leave some comments, don't forget to subscribe. It's your boy Uncle Reza. I'm out of here. Peace.